Hello and welcome to Easier Said Than Run. I'm the lead S&C coach, Liam Rushton, and this is the strength session 1 and a demonstration of why we're doing what we're doing and proper form and proper technique and any teaching points that you might need to know. So the first exercise we're doing here is the barbell back squat. So as you can see, when I walk the bar out of the squat rack, my knees don't lock out, as this will cause possible knee injuries. I'm currently wearing knee sleeves just for a little added protection in case of any knee valgus. As for the actual movement, it's a flexion of the hip, knee and ankle, similar to a running motion. And basically it's just slightly below parallel. If I pause it there, just slightly below parallel, keeping that neutral spine, but you'll see that later on. So if you just watch the spine on these next few reps, you'll see that there's no flexion of it, or very little flexion of it. And again, the actual knee is only flexing to around this point here. So again, that protects the anterior cruciate ligament and protects the knee joint, which is obviously one of the key joints when you're doing the 100 meters. And we don't want to injure that, because obviously through S&C, we're trying to make the athlete and yourselves better, and by injuring yourselves, it's not going to help at all. Moving swiftly on, the next activity is the leg press. It's just coming up after these 5 reps. So the leg press is a similar sort of lower body activity. Again, I advise wearing knee sleeves in this sort of activity due to the heavy weight we're going to be pushing. Currently, I've got on this leg press 250 kilograms. So anywhere upwards of that, you're going to want some protection for your knees, just in case of any knee valgus or any movement of the patella. Feet should be shoulder width apart. This just allows for when you flex at the knee, it allows for a little bit of movement, because obviously you've got your torso in the way there, and you can actually get a little bit more range of motion, because sometimes, especially in athletes that have tight hamstrings, range of motion on the leg press is quite difficult to achieve. As for the actual movement itself, it's flexion at the knee, just slightly past 90 degrees. I'm going to do 10 reps here because this was training for a hypertrophy session plan. If I just pause it here, you can see 2 handles, one either side. As for advice for this, I advise holding these. Due to the heavy weights, you can sometimes bring your back off the pad at the back of the leg press, and that can actually put your spine at risk of injury, and also reduces the sort of effectiveness of the movement. So we've got some quite nice facials there. It's obviously quite a heavy leg press, so be sure to sort of, when you're coming down, brace your torso, because if you don't brace your torso, you're liable to hurt your back. So it's just a little added pointer, just to make sure that we're safe when we're doing these sort of strength activities due to the weights we're moving. It says, like Gamble found in literature, it's the quality of the movement rather than the quantity of the movement when training for strength. So it's important that we're doing all these little pointers just to make sure that we're extracting every potential fiber from the muscle, and making sure that we're actually getting the most effectiveness out of these sessions, especially as we only have 2 sessions per week focusing around strength training. So again, not locking the knees out, as that will cause a knee injury, especially with the weight on the bar, and basically just pushing myself back into the seat and driving with the quadriceps mainly, but also loading with the hamstrings as well. So the next exercise is the barbell row. This works the majority of the muscles in the back. It's very good for power development and strength development. Due to this, as I'll show you, it's you lean forward, keeping the spine neutral, and then it's a pull with the biceps into the midsection of your torso, and that's going to also work sort of your rear delts and also your lats and a lot of your rhombus muscles that are in the center of your back. Feet should be shoulder width apart, lean slightly back on them, and then you can move your weight forwards as the bar comes forward as well. Knees should be slightly bent just to accept the load of the bar, and I'll show you this from behind now as well. So 5x5 routine again, feet shoulder width apart as I've mentioned. You can see the stretch in the lats there as I come down. Hands should be just outside shoulder width, and just stretch on each rep and then contract. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Don't rush the reps, and make sure that spine is not flexing in the lumbar position, as this will cause a back injury and back strain that we don't obviously want. So just finishing them reps, and obviously put the bar back. So the next is the pull-up. Arms should be shoulder width apart. This is how not to do it currently. So the legs are open, which means the symmetry is not there. If I just move this quickly forward, so you can see that there's a little bit of unevenness there, but then as I cross my legs, it makes the movement seem more symmetrical, and also it allows for good development in the lats and the back equally as well, which obviously if you've got one leg out here and one leg sort of here, it creates an off balance movement in the rep, and therefore it's not good for complete symmetrical power development, which has obviously been seen in literature and studies around balance in the body, that if there's an imbalance, it's between the antagonist and the agonist, it can cause a risk of injury. So just for the justification of that, why we're actually going to be doing this in the strength session, it's a good thing to be able to move your own body weight. I personally think this and dips are one of the more important body weight exercises. Again, we're going to be doing a 5x5 protocol. If the athlete finds this too easy, we can use it's basically a chain and plate. So you strap the chain to your midsection, and it can make the pull-ups heavier, and this will actually aid development in strength especially. So yeah, arms shoulder width apart, nice stretch and a nice contraction, nice and slow. Feet should be locked, and there shouldn't be any lateral wobble here. It should be completely symmetrical, as you'll see. So nice stretch there and contraction. Nice stretch and contraction. So you can see there, I'm going all the way down, getting a really nice stretch on the lats, and that will aid development in both muscle growth and strength. Okay, and that was the last exercise for the strength training plan 1. There is obviously strength training plan 2 on your program, but we can do demonstrations for that at a later date if needs be. Just bear in mind, some of these form and technique tips I've given, they can be applied to all the exercises, and therefore will aid your development across your whole training plan. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask, and feel free. My email address is there, liamrushton97@hotmail.com. Also, if there's any alternatives you want in the plans, we can obviously look at that and look at possible different exercises that might suit your body type better. And we look forward to developing you further. Thank you.